When one looks to success rates of the plaintiff's class action bar in certifying their cases, it brings to mind the old adage about real estate, and that is location means everything. Location means where there will be the greatest success. And so there continue to be epicenters of litigation activity where the plaintiff's bar brings a high percentage of cases and in turn is successful in certifying those cases. So in the middle of the country, in the South, in the Fifth Circuit, in the Atlantic Coast region, in Metro New York, the Second Circuit, and in California, Northern California, the San Francisco area, the Fifth, Second, and Ninth Circuits were circuits where the plaintiff's bar did better in 2018 from a statistical standpoint than they had in prior years. Looking at the whole country, the plaintiff's bar had a success rate at about 80% in certifying their cases, and that's the highest percentage we've seen in 15 years, and it was up about 10% from the prior year. If one looks then at categories of cases, by and large the plaintiff's bar was exceedingly successful in the wage and hour space in certifying their cases. They were very successful in the ERISA space, and the only area where they fell down and had a challenge in certifying their cases was in the employment discrimination area, where they did so at less than a 50% rate. And there were also far less employment discrimination cases brought, litigated to decision on a certification issue in 2018 as in previous years. To me, that's an impact of the precedent-setting decision of the U.S. Supreme Court in 2011 in the Walmart Stores versus Dukes case, which made it much more difficult for the plaintiff's bar to certify employment discrimination cases. And so seeing one area blocked, we've seen a migration of the plaintiff's bar into the ERISA and wage and hour space. And so it does make sense as to why there are more wage and hour cases being brought by the plaintiff's bar than in any other area. It's something like the stock market theory of why there's an investment by the plaintiff's bar in those sorts of cases. Easy to bring, easy to certify, don't need an expert, don't need to spend a lot of money on that expert, and then can quickly monetize their cases and turn them from case filings into certification orders into large settlements. Well, I think that in terms of what is going to occur in 2019, I think we're entering a whole new era, and that the old rules or lessons of the past may not hold in 2019, because both the plaintiff's bar and employers will be dealing with the issue of the Epic Systems case and the legality of workplace arbitration agreements, which will probably stop the number of filings or decrease the number of filings when it comes to wage and hour cases. It will mean there'll be less cases that even go to class certification decisions because they'll be moved from court into an arbitration setting, and as a result, the settlements that do occur will probably be for less money. Against that backdrop, you have bills that have already been introduced in the Congress to legislatively overrule the Epic case. There's an ideological battle between Republicans and Democrats, pro-worker, pro-business, over the efficacy and philosophy underlying arbitration and whether or not it's a good or a bad thing. So I think that there are many things in flux which will contribute to 2019 being a very different year in the courthouse and insofar as class action litigation is concerned than in any other years.